The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he has founded it upon the seas and established upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hills of the Lord? Or who shall stand in his holy place? He that has clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully, he shall receive the blessings from the Lord, and the righteousness from the God of his salvation. And that was the 24th division of Psalms, the first to the 5th verse. And it says that who shall receive the blessings of God? And the answer is he that has a clean hands and a pure heart, and who's not sown deceitfully. So in other words, what God is looking for, the Bible says the Spirit of the Lord is going to and fro the earth, seeking such that has a perfect heart, seeking such whose heart is sincere, open, honest. This is what God is looking for. The Bible says that man looks at the outer appearance. And you know it to be so, because there's many times in your life, as those that listen to me, that you've been in situations where it appeared to be one way, but it wasn't that way at all. But there was no kind of way you could explain it, because the situation itself had got so emotional, and people got so emotional and they misunderstood so much that you never got the chance, or you never even had a chance to explain or to express. It was just assumed that you was a certain way. It was just assumed that you was this type of person. So throughout your whole life, you've lived through the eyes of certain people from a certain assumption, from a certain mindset of appearing the way you are or where you should be. People look at you a certain way when you're around certain people. And it's so uncomfortable when you hated it, but there's nothing you can do about it, because no one would have never allowed you to explain it. And so you just kept it quiet, and you just kept quiet and kept on just trusting and believing God, and just hoping one day that something would happen, something would change, something would take place. But you know what? Then something did happen. Something happened wherein the people's view of you shifted. Their view of you shifted because God elevated you and God blessed you in a way. He blessed you in a way that they could not deny the fact that it was God. God blessed you in a way that they could not deny that the blessings of the Lord was upon you. And see, this are many of you, many of you, and this are many of you that are coming. You might be in that place where you're still being accused and still misunderstanding, and people looking at you a certain way and accuse you of certain things. But I tell you, the thing that you need to do, just keep holding on. And just keep believing what you're believing. And see, the thing about it, when you know the truth, you ain't got to fight the truth. The truth stands for itself. You ain't got to fight it. You ain't got to fight words. If somebody want to accuse you or say something, just let them say what they want to say. They talked about Jesus. See, but there's going to come a time. There's going to come a time that God's going to fix it. There's going to come a time that the fruit of your labor is going to speak. And you ain't going to have to say a word. And so you need to know that. See, some of you feel like you justify. You feel like you need to do something. You feel like you need to say something. But don't say that. God said, be quiet. Hold your peace and let him fight your battle. He's going to fight it. He's going to fight it. Those things that have been trying to intimidate you, he's going to fight it. Those things that have been trying to hurt you, that have been trying to find soft spots in you, he's going to fight it for you. And see, those darts that have been thrown in your back. And see, even sometimes, and so people, you thought they was your friend, and you thought they had your back, but then you come to find out there was a hatchet that they laid in your back. They laid it there because they were after what you had. And once they figured out that they had, and they thought that they discovered it, then they let you. Then they decided to leave you. They decided to drop you. God bless you. But sorry about that. See, but when people have treated you a certain way, see, but God is going to vindicate. And so you don't have to do no fighting. Just keep trusting God, and just keep believing in God, and just keep taking him at his word. Take him at his word, and then just trust him. Just trust him, and he's the one that's going to see you through. He's the one that's going to cause you to get the victory. See, but the thing about it, you have to be honest. He's looking at your heart. He know your pain. He know your struggles. He know what you're going through. He know what you dealt with. He know what you're facing. You know, he know your struggles. He know your lonely hours. He know many times late at night you thought you was going to die. You wanted to throw in the towel when you was crying on your pillow. He was there. He was there listening. And he didn't forget. And he didn't forget your labor. You need to know, you need to realize, and you need to understand that he did not forget your labor of love. The sacrifice the sacrifices, the things that you've done that nobody knows nothing about. See, but God knows, because he said that what you do in secret, he's going to reward you. Your reward is coming. It's coming. It's coming. Just remain patient. The Bible said all things work together for them, to them that love the Lord and are the called according to his purpose. But also the Bible said, be not weary in well doing. Don't be weary, because in due season, if you faint not. See, you can't faint. You can't faint. You can't give up. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep trusting. You got to keep believing. It starts with your belief. You got to keep believing in him. Believing that he can fix it. Believing that he's going to make it. He's going to make it good. It looks bad. It looks horrible. It might look bad, but you can't look at how bad it looks. You got to look at what God said. Even though in the midst of what looks like bad, but you got to look at what God said. That's greater. That's going to happen. See, because out of something bad, God can create. God can bring life. God can bring life. Through death, God can bring life. God can flip it. Through flip it. He can flip it. And many of you are going through that. You're going through a process of emotional, mental death. It's a process. See, something has to die, something has to live. See, that seed must bow alone first, then die in the earth. Bow alone, die in the earth. Then life comes. But that's that season. You got to go through that stage in order to receive what God has for you, in order for you to receive it, in order for you to receive God's choicest blessings. And you must surrender. You must surrender. You must open up your heart and allow him in. Allow him in there. That's why it says they're looking for that perfect heart, a broken spirit. God's ear is close to you. He's nigh to a broken heart. A contrite spirit and broken heart, he will not despise. He's waiting on, he's listening to you. He's listening to your heart. And he wants to respond. Is that all right? He wants to respond. God bless you.